Danny Willett. Danny Will. He comes out with a Masters trophy. He comes out with the green jacket. The first Englishman to do so since Nick Faldo. And it came at the expense of a Masters meltdown from Jordan Spieth. And people are talking about whether or not it was a meltdown. Come on. It was a meltdown. He was 7 holes away from back-to-back Masters tournament. Not a meltdown in terms of him melting down in front of the camera, breaking down. Meltdown in terms of his performance. 12-hole, quadruple bogey, 2 in the water. See you later, mate. First Brit to do it since Faldo, as I mentioned, so he is happy. No one is more happy than his brother, which I'll get to at the very end. You should have seen the tweets. They were great. But what do you think? Spieth meltdown, thoughts on it? He's obviously, I will get to another point about him being compared.
First of all, of course, leave it to a Scot to be this animated about a golf story.
Danny Willett.
The way you opened was great. Okay, so golf is such a difficult sport for me because it does not really rely on athleticism as much as it does on mental stability. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I think that's the reason why everyone is like, oh, he had a meltdown. His reaction was kind of ridiculous because it was different. It was so different out of what you expect from golf in general. But the reality is that, I mean, I think golf would be a little bit more entertaining of a sport if people were, flinging clubs around and cursing on holes when they miss, because that's how I play golf.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would be less of a, oh my God, we like to play golf like silent and do the golf clap type of sport.
I think that this Masters tournament, I'm going to go...
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, the Happy Gilmore when he throws a flag. I'm going to go a little off course in this one, because I'm going to state that this Masters tournament was one of the most entertaining for me. If Masters tournament was like this, and I'm a golf fan, by the way, everyone knows this.
I think as soon as you say this Masters tournament was one of the most entertaining for me, you immediately have outed yourself as a golf fan regardless.
No, I mean, I'm always going to be out myself as a golf fan. I've watched many Masters tournaments, even since the early days.
He wears a kilt when he plays.
But no, we had everything. We had meltdowns, we had hole-in-one. Ostausers, I believe it was, or whatever his name is pronounced, had a hole-in-one, Haas, where he also played onto the course. No, but this one was not just any hole-in-one. He hits it onto the green. It rolls back, because this hole, everyone was trying to hit it to the back of the green because of the gradient. It rolls down. He hits one of his opponent's balls, who's already on the green, and with that, it changes the direction of the ball. It goes in. He hits.
I didn't even know that was. He didn't do it on purpose.
Of course
obviously.
He didn't, but it was phenomenal because it hit obviously the guy he was playing with ball closer to the hole, who I haven't seen it yet, got a birdie. I hope he did, or else he'd be pissed. But his ball went into the hole, and I'm thinking, and that was one of 5 or 6 hole-in-ones we had. Ricky Fowler had one. We had back-to-back hole-in-ones. I thought it was one of the most entertaining major tournaments we've seen in a while.
Yeah. Totally. Because golf is boring for the most part. I know everyone's going to hate me for saying it, but you're probably boring if you like golf. No, I'm just kidding. France is entertaining.
One thing that you didn't expect to happen was Cam Newton's name to arrive when talking about golf. And it's because Marc Schlereth, who is very vocal in his opinions, he actually said that Jordan Spieth handled it appropriately in comparison to Cam Newton. Jordan Spieth had the just gut-wrenching task of putting on a jacket to someone who you're playing directly against after having a meltdown. So he obviously had to give the green jacket over. His face was memed everywhere.
It was the most awkward, but the situation I've ever seen ever.
It was the saddest thing since Sad Ben Affleck.
Oh my God,
just like
he fell off the chair almost when he got up to like hand him the jacket. He was just like, ugh.
It was awful.
It was really funny, but. The reason why I think, this is what I was trying to mention earlier, the reason why I think a comparison to football and golf is so ridiculous is because football is such an intense sport where they literally coach you to channel your anger appropriately so you can utilize it. Mm-hmm. That kind of fuels you, right?
Yeah.
In golf, I feel like it's almost the exact opposite, where you are in control of your fears and angers and not necessarily using it to, basically throw your 300-pound body against your opponent. So it's normal that a person who plays golf is going to handle a defeat in a more gracious way than a person who plays football.
Yeah. But there's one thing I do disagree on with this, is that I think that it's, as much as they're different sports athletically, I think it's harder to deal with a loss in golf, and I'll tell you why. You have no one else to blame. There is any other team. Cam Newton, although he did, I don't agree with the people ragging on Cam Newton. If I was to take a loss as significant as that, and people just asking me questions, and you hear profanities being spoken about behind you in the other interview, which was, by the way, I don't agree with that. But when it comes to golf, Jordan Spieth handled himself in as professional of a fashion as he possibly could. I mean, he said, get the camera away from me, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Like, you just melted down in front of the world. You're the butt of everyone's memes. MJ somehow transitioned from everyday memes into a golf course. Here's the MJ crying memes as we'll throw up. But as I mentioned, like, you're right. It's such a mental sport. So imagine the only way you can deal with that mental, I would say, crisis that you're facing after that is to try and recover mentally. You can't go out to yes, you can go out and practice, but it wasn't his game that threw himself off. Because Jordan Spieth on the 12th, he played that hole so many times before. He's done that. It's just a consistent basis for him just to continuously hit the green. But for one reason, on that 12th hole, he bottled it. That's mental. That's nothing to do with his game.
I know.
That's mental, so he has to
I think we can point to Tiger Woods' career and what happened to it after the whole, controversies, the sex scandals came out is the most indicative thing. We can point to that and say golf is a mental sport. Look at what happened to Tiger Woods.
Yeah, still in physical shape.
But what I was going to compare it to, I think a more accurate comparison of losing gracefully like a goddamn champion in a single-person sport that's incredibly intense is Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Yeah.
Conor McGregor, when I watched his exit interviews, when he was so amped up. Think about it. I mean, you've been punching another human for the past hour. You've been dodging punches, you've been getting punched in the face, you've gotten choked out, and you're sitting there and you have to stand there and be like, I lost. It's fine.
Yeah.
I lost.
Gracious and when as I am in defeat.
Yeah. It's all right. I'll be back.
But prepare yourself, ass, because the McGregors will be called the McGregor apologists. That will come out in the comment section. They're not as big a fans, but I'm just introducing you to our Nick Diaz fan hold. But nonetheless, we've talked about Nick Diaz many times in the clip. Either way, Dan
didn't see me flip off the fan.
Let's take us out with the best way possible, and it is that Danny Willett's brother was live tweeting everything on the way. In typical English fashion, he was hilarious. So we're going to run you through and take you out. No, it was funny. Yeah, that's typical English humor where he's like, all right, Spieth, you've already had one, mate. Give us my brother's it. Give my brother it. I don't know where he's from.
I don't understand it. And I love the BBC. I watch all the comedies coming out of BBC, but I still don't get this sort of spunk fettuccine humor.
That's a private joke.
That's a little inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke. Either way, we'll take you out on that live tweet. Hit Hassan up, Hassan the Hun on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You weren't even coming in as a fill-in. We planned Jason's trip to Magic Mountain.
Oh no, totally. It wasn't because no one else would do this.
What time is it? It's like 6:30 in the morning.
It's very early.
Hit us up on Twitter at 2IT Sports, at Francis_Maxson. I'll see you guys soon.